Look, I know I said once you go ultra wide, you never go back, but that don't even rhyme. Plus, this monitor is a beast. What's good with it? It's your kinfolk Dookie. Now I'm still on the search for the best monitor for me, but this panel from Viotech looks to bring a lot of next level gaming options a lot cheaper than its competition. Now I'm going to throw a bunch of numbers at you. Some people like to call them specs, but I'm not judging. The GN27DB is a 27-inch 1440p VA panel that is curved for your pleasure. Currently going for $329 on Amazon, gamers will enjoy the smooth excitement of high frames per second fun, as this monitor supports 144 Hz with a 4.8 millisecond response time in overdrive, as well as FreeSync, which now can be enabled on NVIDIA cards. As for input, you get one DisplayPort 1.2 with included cable and two HDMI ports as well, so there is plenty of support for your gaming consoles right out of the box. Compared to some other monitors I've had, the bezels are quite thin, with a slightly larger bottom lip for branding. Also, along the bottom are 4 menu buttons and 1 for power, but I'll address menu options later. Now this brings me to one of the only things I don't like about this monitor, and kind of lets you know why it's a little bit more budget friendly than other options. The stand is trash. It's large and clunky and doesn't provide any features other than a slight tilt back and forth. Thankfully, the monitor is VESA mount compatible, which if you plan on running multiple monitors, then you're going to need a good arm anyway. Now, as far as colors go, I honestly did not know what to expect here. Most people like to game on TN panels because of their high refresh rates and low response times. They also like to work on IPS panels due to their accurate color reproduction and better viewing angles. But this is kind of like the best of both worlds. Well, for me at least. While I wouldn't call it professional by any means, the color reproduction seems to be pretty good. It comes with a variety of viewing settings, and thanks to a tip by Brian over at Bad Seed Tech, I've been using it on the movie mode for everything. Colors are bright and vibrant with dark blacks that make the images just pop out. Viewing angles seem solid even from the extremes, but the curve does help to heighten the immersion factor. Editing has been nice on this panel as well, though I'm sure with the color calibration tool, it would be even better. As for the menu features, it's actually quite intuitive and nicely laid out. Here you can change the refresh rate, adjust all the settings as you see fit, even turn on one of those noob on-screen crosshairs for FPS games. But don't be a lame and do that. Come on man, what's wrong with you? I know your mama raised you better than that. Now sound is another place where this thing takes a massive hit, but honestly, no monitor in this price range has built-in sound worth using. Any cheap soundbar, headphones, or desktop speakers will be infinitely better, and it's quite laughable how big the difference is between the built-in sound and my studio monitors. So far I've kind of beat around the bush, but what exactly is gaming like on this monitor that boasts so many gaming features? Honestly, I wish this review was over so I could get back to gaming on this right now. Pretty much that's exactly what I'll be doing while you're watching this. I thought the jump from 60 to 75 Hz was wild, but gaming at even the higher refresh rates is just buttery smooth. Does it make me a better gamer? Nah, I'm still trash. But I do feel like my response is somewhat quicker in FPS shooters. Games like Forza are like silk playing above 100 FPS and better. I shouldn't have to mention it, but it is nearly impossible for me to recreate that feeling in this video. It's just something you have to see to believe. Now I have a video coming on my recent acquisition of the RTX 2070 and how the 70 series has always been my sweet spot. So make sure you subscribe. But in plenty of today's toughest games, I was able to play at 1440p on high to ultra settings. Turning things like motion blur off and knocking down anti-aliasing can help you push your games to that magical 144 FPS rate. Also, while this panel is not on the list of NVIDIA G-Sync compatible FreeSync monitors, you can enable G-Sync and it works. I noticed very little micro stuttering and virtually no screen tearing. Also, I would suggest adjusting your game settings to get the highest frame rates at 1440p depending on what GPU you are using. When I turned it to 1080p to really push 144 FPS in some games, it was just this overall fuzziness that is functional, but not amazing. Now it does work in lower resolutions. I hooked up my Switch and for the most part it looked good, but I do wish there was an easier way to just switch inputs. Also again, this is where I wish they had some sort of audio out, as the console sound from the monitor is trash. In the end though, I have to say I am extremely happy with this monitor. Now I am considering getting a really color accurate super ultra wide to edit my timelines in a full glory, then using this panel from Viotech for gaming to put the rest to shame. What do you think though? Let me know down in the comments how you feeling. Is this something you would like to add to your desktop setup? It's your Kinfolk Dookie. I'm gonna get up out of here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and never forget to holla at your boy.